Hello 3D printing friends. Today on the BB3D channel we are going to be assembling this. It is the robot arm project from the Alien3D UFO Mystery Box, the August 2019 edition. Stick around and we will get into it right after this. I'm Brian and you are watching BB3D. Hi, welcome back. Hey, if you're new here and you're wanting to learn about cool 3D printer upgrades, 3D modeling, and other 3D printing related stuff, get started now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss out. Okay, so what is all of this stuff out here on the bench? These are all the printed pieces from the robot arm project from the August 2019 Alien3D UFO Mystery Box, and this is a super fun project to play with. My daughter likes using it to pick up benchies and calicats and move them from one place to another. The parts that were included in the box are the 6 syringes and the tubing that goes between them. Besides the printed parts, I needed a few screws to attach pieces together, but I suspect if you have some CA glue or 3D glue, you can just glue them together if you're careful about it, and then you won't need the screws. So what powers this robot arm? Well, air. Air or water. If you use air, you're doing it pneumatically. If you use water, you're doing it hydraulically. Now, to reduce the possibility of liquid spill, I'm going to run this pneumatically. Here, I'll show you how it works. So I've got 2 syringes connected by a length of tubing, and I've got the plunger pulled out on one and the plunger pushed in on the other. So when I push down on this plunger, the air pressure forces the other plunger up. And when I pull back on this plunger gets sucked back in. And that's how this robot arm moves. Now, if you want to fill this system with water, you can. But like I said, I want to reduce the risk of a liquid spill, so I'm going to use air for this. Now, the arm has 3 degrees of motion, and that is moving left and right, moving up and down, and opening and closing the claw. Now, I have some very important news for you, and it is this. Because this project was originally designed to use 5 milliliter syringes, and the box came with 10 milliliter syringes, you're going to have to scale these parts up in your slicer before you print them. You need to scale them to 120%. And if you don't scale it up, the syringes aren't going to fit, and you're going to be unhappy. And I want you to be happy, so remember, scale these up to 120% before you print them. And now, let's get into assembling this thing, okay? Okay, we're going to start with the base. Now, I've put some rubber feet on the bottom of mine, and you can do that too if you want. It helps to keep the base from sliding around so much. So the parts that we need are the base, the syringe housing base, and the pin base syringe housing. Snap the pin into the hole on the syringe housing, and then snap the housing onto the base. Next, we're going to need the rotary table, the plate, a piston part short, the pin rotary table piston part short, and one of these syringes. These part names are crazy, right? Oh, and if you're going to screw things together using screws instead of CA glue or gloop, you'll need some screws and a screwdriver. And it's probably easier to glue these together because I had to drill and tap the holes for these M3 screws that I had available. The holes were just way too small for the screws that I had. So put the rotary table on the base, and then glue or screw the plate to the center there. And this base should turn freely. Snap the syringe into the syringe housing. And snap the piston part short onto the end of the syringe's plunger. Now they kind of hold. You might want a zip tie around it to hold it a little better. I'm not going to put that on for this video. Then snap the plunger part onto the base using the pin. Now we need the syringe housing arm, the 2 arm parts, the arm 2 part, 2 more syringes, and glue or screws depending on how you're putting this together. Snap 1 syringe into the syringe housing arm part, and snap the other syringe into the arm 2 part. Then snap those onto the arm parts and you need to orient them like this, so that the end of the plunger here is facing this opening in the arm. With those snapped together, it's time to attach the arm to the base using either glue or screws. Next, snap a piston part long onto the piston of this plunger. Rotate it as necessary, and then line it up here in the arm. This gets held in place with the pin arm to piston part long. It's the longest pin in the set. Now it's time to build the claw. So put the left claw and the right claw on the ends of the arm. On my claw, I attach some peel and stick rubber feet to the jaws just to help it grab onto things. Use a pin claws rod to snap a right rod onto one of the claws. And do the same with the other side. Get the rods lined up and use a pin to hold them together, which will also go through a piston part short. And get that snapped onto the piston of the syringe on the arm. Finally, attach the cap arm too over the ends of these pins and use glue or screws to hold it in place. With the arm built, it is time to attach the syringes. When you're connecting a syringe, make sure that if one syringe is plunged in, the other one is pulled out. Attach the tubing to one side, attach the tubing to the other side of the syringe, and now you can control the arm. Let's get the other ones hooked up. If a syringe doesn't move as far as you want it to, you can detach this, pull this back a little bit, reconnect it, and you should get the desired result. Awesome. Now you can practice moving things around. One syringe will move the arm left and right, one syringe will move it up and down, and the other will open and close the claw. So practice with the arm. See if you can pick up an object and drop it in a container. This is super fun to play with. Now it can take a little while to get all of the parts printed out, but that's okay. It's still a heck of a lot of fun to play with, either for you or your kid or both. And probably the best thing about it is, it doesn't need batteries. I've got links in the description where you can download the project files and get the parts. Well, thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video, and a big thanks to everyone who likes, comments on, and shares these videos. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on any cool 3D printing videos. If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down, but either way, leave your thoughts down in the comments. If you like the content that I'm producing and you'd like to help out, consider supporting the channel with a one-time micropayment. You can buy me a coffee or leave a little something in the PayPal tip jar, and links for those are in the description. Another way to help out is to use the affiliate links down in the description when you're shopping online. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra, but a little tiny portion of that gets kicked back to the channel to help cover the cost of making cool videos for you. Well, now that I've got this cool robot arm built, I'm going to practice moving it around a little bit more, and then I'm going to go print something cool. You do the same, and I'll see you next time.